Hello, I'm glad to reproduce you intellectual information technology of analysis and synthesis of energy-efficient hydroaerodynamic elements and systems. Problems of intellectualization of processes of analysis and synthesis of energy-efficient hydroaerodynamic elements and systems in existing engineering CAD are analyzed. It is shown that the models and methods of structural and parametric synthesis used in CAD do not fully take into account the requirements of energy consumption and environmental loads and the impact of a real hydroaerodynamic processes in forming the base of standard technical solution of mockups and environmental samples. The use of the elements designed in this way complicates the situation with the energy saving and environmental loads and leads to a total energy loss of up to 40 degrees in the projected hydroaerodynamic systems. To determine ways to solve this problem of intellectualization of processes of analysis and synthesis of energy-efficient hydroaerodynamic elements and systems, modern possibilities of existing models and methods of structural parametric synthesis of system objects, visualization of liquids and gases, and intellectual visual data analysis. The article proposed ways of intellectualizing the processes of analysis and synthesis of energy-efficient hydroaerodynamic elements and systems based on the development of intelligent models and models of structural parametric synthesis of system objects taking into account the visualization of hydrodynamic flows in them with subsequent intelligent processing of the resulting visual images. The aim of the work is to create models, methods, and intelligent information technology for analysis and synthesis of energy-efficient hydrodynamic elements and systems to reduce their energy consumption and environmental impact on the environment. To achieve this goal, the following tasks are solved. The problems of intellectualization of the processes of analysis and synthesis of energy-efficient hydroaerodynamic elements and systems are analyzed, and the ways of their solution are determined. Develop models of structural parametric synthesis of energy-saving hydroaerodynamic systems, taking into account the intellectual analysis of energy consumption in these systems on the basis of logical numerical model in the form of a sign-weighted digraph. The method of structural parametric synthesis of structural prototypes of energy-saving auxiliary elements which are a part of network parts of hydroaerodynamic systems is developed. Developed intelligent information technology for analysis and synthesis of energy-efficient hydroaerodynamic elements and systems, as well as its practical testing with a positive technical effect. Here you can see a model of a hydroaerodynamic system which consists from generation and network. A structural and parametric model of the network part of the hydroaerodynamic system you can see here, and the next is a total pressure loss. The generation part of hydroaerodynamic system is here, and efficiency of the main energy active element next step, we take characteristics of energy intensity of the hydrodynamic process, and here we have a structural parametric model of hydroaerodynamic system. Uh, Next step, mm, you can see the logical numerical model of generated technical proposals, sign-weighted oriented graph, and general view of the sign-weighted graph and matrix of the values of the weights of its arcs. Here you can see formation of an adjacency matrix of a logical numerical model. And the results of modeling a technical proposal to increase the productivity of hydroaerodynamic system by reducing resistance of elements of the network part. When developing the method of structural parametric synthesis of energy-saving prototypes of auxiliary elements, it is established that structural elements with unreasonably high values of hydroaerodynamic resistance are used in the design of the hydroaerodynamic system network part, which in turn leads to increased total pressure losses in the hydroaerodynamic system network part. To reduce them, it is necessary to obtain quantitative and qualitative assessments of the state of hydrodynamic processes in the designed auxiliary elements, which allows to determine the causes of high resistance and automate the synthesis of technical solutions for their reduction. Means of obtaining the quantitative assessment of the state of the hydrodynamic process in experimental stand, individual data, means of obtaining the qualitative assessment of the state of the hydrodynamic process, database of hydrodynamic processes, database of hydrodynamic primitives, and base of neural networks. Here you can see creation of hydrodynamic structure primitive database. This is the example of assessment of the state of hydrodynamic process in the physical prototype of an auxiliary element, flow rotation on 180 degree. Here you can see the results of the stages of intellectual structural parametric synthesis of the physical prototype of the energy-saving auxiliary element, rotation of the flow on 180 degree. In total, models, methods, and intellectual information technology of analysis and synthesis of energy-efficient hydroaerodynamic elements and systems are created in the work for the purpose of reduction of energy consumption and ecological load on the environment. In order to create an intellectual information technology, the following models and method have been developed: models of structural parametric synthesis of energy-saving hydroaerodynamic systems, taking into account the intellectual analysis of energy consumption in these systems on the basis of a logical numerical model in the form of a sign-weighted graph, and the method of structural parametric synthesis of structural prototypes of energy-saving auxiliary elements which are part of the network parts of hydroaerodynamic systems. Thanks for watching.